5 Cases of Sadistic Murder in Indonesia. Number 1. His cop was hoeed. Action murder occurred against a background of various motives, starting from heartache, revenge, to wanting to take the victim's belongings. Several murder cases that were uncovered in Indonesia were even carried out sadistically. The following is a series of sadistic murder cases that occurred in Indonesia, reported by various sources. Number 1. The murder of Eno Fariha, Tangerang. A factory worker in Tangerang, named Eno Fariha, 18, was found lifeless with a hoe in her genitals. Eno's body was found in the employee dormitory, where he worked in Kosambi, Tangerang Regency. The incident began on Thursday, the 12th of May 2016 evening when the victim met Rahmat Alim, a student who had only been his girlfriend for a month. The two of them make out. However, the victim refused Rahmat's invitation to have sex because she was afraid of getting pregnant. The rejection annoyed Rahmat, and he left the room. Next, Rahmat met Rahmat Arifin and Imam Hapriyadi. The three then entered the victim's room. The priest immediately covered the victim's face using a pillow and ordered Rahmat to look for a knife in the kitchen. Not finding a knife, Rahmat went out and got a hoe. The priest ordered Rahmat to beat the victim with a hoe. The handle of the hoe was later found in the victim's genitals. After Eno died, Rahmat robbed the victim's cell phone. The motive of the perpetrators to commit murder was triggered by heartache. The priest, who previously tried to approach the victim, never got a response. As for Rahmat, victims often call him ugly. For this incident, the panel of judges at the Tangerang District Court sentenced Rahmat Arifin and Imam Hapriyadi to death, while Rahmat, who was still a minor, was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Number 2. One family murder, Way Kanan. In October 2021, a family was murdered in Way Kanan, Lampung, in Marga Jaya village, Negara Batin district to be precise. The victims, which consisted of 5 people, were killed by perpetrator Erwin, 40, who was also a member of the family. The 5 victims were father, stepmother, older brother, nephew and half-sister of the perpetrator. 4 victims were brutally killed by Erwin at one time, then thrown into a septic tank. The bodies of the 4 victims were only discovered in October 2022. Furthermore, Erwin killed his half-sister, Juwanda, with the help of Wahyu, 17, his own child. After killing Juwanda, Erwin buried his half-sister in a cassava garden. Residents reported Juwanda missing in July 2022. The perpetrators were charged with Article 338 of the Criminal Code concerning murder, which carries a penalty of 15 years in prison. If the act is proven to be premeditated murder, the perpetrator may be subject to death penalty or life imprisonment. Number 3. Shemale murder, Jakarta. A transvestite named Muhammad Safrizal alias Shella Aprilia, 27, was found dead on a bridge in Siga village, Sepayang district, East Jakarta, in the early hours of November 2015. Apart from being found lying on the asphalt and covered in blood, there were dozens of stab wounds on his body. Victim. The victim is known to often hang out on the bridge where he was found dead. At the time of the incident, eyewitnesses, who heard screams from the bridge, also saw 2 suspicious figures suspected of having robbed the victim. Around the victim's body, his belongings were scattered. So far, the perpetrators of the murder have not been identified. Number 4. Murder of a SMK student, Palembang. In October 2014, the body of a woman was found behind the Jakabaring Sports City, JSC, aquatic venue, Palembang. The victim, named Indasari, 16, was a student at a vocational school in Palembang, whose family had reported missing a few days earlier. When found, The victim's body was in a bush in a pathetic condition. Apart from decomposing, the victim's body was also dismembered. The victim's head was separated from his body, while his left leg was severed and was not far from the location of the discovery. The Seberang Ulu I Palembang police chief managed to secure the victim's girlfriend, R, as the last person who met the victim. However, R denied killing the victim. Number 5. Murder of Iskon Aroma, Bekasi. A factory worker named Iskon Aroma, 22, was found dead due to a stab wound to her back. At the time of the incident, in March 2022, Iska was about to leave for his workplace. However, he had not walked far from his rented house in Mekamukti village, Cikarang Utara district, Bekasi Regency, when 3 people riding a motorcycle suddenly approached and slashed the victim using sickles. The victim was stabbed 4 times by the perpetrator with the initials Nerfan. Because the victim screamed, the perpetrators fled and did not have time to take the victim's belongings. The police managed to arrest Nerfan, 17, and Muhammad Rafai, 20, a few days after the incident, while another perpetrator, with the initials Tile, is still being sought.